Hey, welcome to the SAINTCON hallway. You want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Keenan Fessler. They call me Keen or K33N.
So it's a very OPSEC handle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess.
It's your first name?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, well, everybody, when I first came here, before I had a handle that people were using, and everybody would be like, do you know this person? And I'm like, no. Well, this handle? But yes, and it goes back and forth, but people don't know who's who. And so I picked a handle where it's like, what's your name? Oh, it's Keenan. And they're like, oh, you just add. Okay, yeah.
Right. It depends on when I met them.
Yeah.
Did I meet them with their hand, like Grifter? How do you know Grifter?
Yes.
You know, I met him as Grifter. And I finally found out his name was Neil. And I was like, no, it's not.
Yeah.
Like, that's not your name. That doesn't even make sense. You don't look like a Neil. He's like, I assure you I am. But then if I meet people with their real name and then I hear their handle and people call it, confuses me a little.
Yeah, I agree.
So, you are on the SAINTCON committee?
I'm a staff member.
Okay,
yeah.
Sorry. So you're in the what do we call it? Events or?
Yeah, I'm under events and competitions.
Okay, so with under Lean.
Yep.
But you put on a big part of that every year.
Mm-hmm.
What part's that?
I do Los Santos.
What is Los Santos?
Los Santos is what really started keeping me coming to SAINTCON, to be completely honest. It's where you get to take the practical skills of being able to escape handcuffs, locks, and things like that, and be put to a challenge. So we pretend that you've been kidnapped by a cartel. We'll handcuff you or zip tie you to a chair or in a room.
So come to SAINTCON and get zip tied to a chair.
Yeah, pretty much.
Or handcuffed, your choice.
And we will teach you how to get out.
I tried the zip tie one. I was mentioning it earlier. You make it look so easy. Like, just zip tie, pull really tight, and then just kapop. And after like 3 minutes, my wrists are eating up, and I'm like, just cut it. I don't know how you guys do that. Maybe you get to the gym or something.
I guess I grew up on a farm, threw a lot of hibbles, I guess. I don't know.
But you're showing it over and over and over.
Yeah.
And your wrists are not jacked.
Well, they are. Like, if you look at them a little bit, like, I've got marks and things.
But, I mean, mine looked worse than that.
But
one attempt. How many times have you done it?
How many times? Oh.
At this conference.
At this conference? I don't know.
That's crazy, right?
I don't know. That one happens the most. I've done getting out of zip cuffs twice, and then handcuffs is kind of medium, where they usually ask for a specific way. Like, will you teach me how to shim out? Will you get out with a bobby pin? And those types of things.
What's the craziest story from Los Santos?
The craziest story from Los Santos?
What did somebody try that you're just like, you're not supposed to do it like that?
Well, that happens a lot. One of my favorite ones, though, is we have an under the door tool. That's used to go against lever handles that are fire code compliant. And they're sitting there and they keep going after this door and they're just like, I can't get it, I did it so well. And they keep going over and they don't realize the door they're doing it on is a deadbolt on both sides. There's not even a handle on the other side. And they just keep going and going. It was pretty good.
So you're on the backside just watching this thing
watching it
flop against no handle.
Yes. Like, I swear I feel it. My favorite, though, is after they're all done, that they have all these reasons why it didn't work. I hit some false gates. It's like, no.
But then they look at the other side.
No, you didn't. It's okay.
I like that it's a spectator sport.
Yeah.
You can sit and watch people do it.
That's one of my favorite things to see happen is you'll get the people that kind of catch that. And as the days go by, today we got really slammed. And it's by the groups that were paying attention, and now they're starting to pop through really fast things. They figured out the hacks, and now they're starting to another level of it, and they keep coming back. Like every 2 hours, they'll be like, who's in first? Is it still us? No? Okay, let's run it again. And so
I don't like to be first. But if I can watch somebody else do it, and I can learn 80-ish%, then I'm game.
Yeah.
But that first one's always like, that's why I like the spectator sport. Okay. But I still can't get out of that zip tie. I'm pretty sure I just don't know what I'm doing.
Then do the zip cuffs.
Yeah. But the zip tie, I don't know, man. These aren't Harbor Freight ones. You're like stepped it up.
No, they're just from Home Depot.
Yeah, they're not Harbor Freight.
They're not, that's true.
Because I can get out of those.
Yeah.
Go home and practice on Harbor Freight ones that have been like 10 years old and they just snap in half.
Yeah, do those
No
ones.
knock on Harbor Freight.
Hashtag no sponsor.
What's the first SAINTCON you ever came to?
It was 2018.
2018. Mm-hmm. And what is, so outside of your realm of what you have to run and do at Los Santos, what's your favorite memory of SAINTCON?
Favorite memory of SAINTCON?
Besides meeting me.
Yeah, that is a good memory actually, because well, when we first started, and I had already known some lockpicking stuff. I'd been brought into that realm by a friend of mine who was a locksmith, and I didn't even know that was a thing here. I was sent because I just got moved to the security department in my work,
Right.
and so they're like, go learn some stuff. I was like, cool, let's do that. And then we're sitting there and I'm learning at Lockpicking Village, and then they're talking about like this thing with film, and they're like, you can do this film, and there's this guy named Pope, and I was like, oh my gosh, there's this Pope guy, I don't even know if I want to talk to him. So I didn't, and then the next year I spoke, and then you and me talked so I could get my AV set up, and I was like, oh, Pope's cool, I like Pope. and now like it's a pretty big staple. I actually won $500 with that film. Yeah.
Nice.
So.
Did you turn around and buy like a collectible Lord of the Rings trailer with it?
No, actually, I don't think that the guy that bet me realized how much of an unsolid bet it was. For me, it was solid. Like I knew it wasn't even a bet. I had the film with me in my backpack. I was walking through our headquarters, and I saw.
Do you always keep film in your backpack?
I do now. Yeah.
I do too, because it rolls up so tiny. Yeah. And if somebody finds it on you, they're just like, what the heck?
What is that?
They don't.
PSA always asks me, like when they see my other stuff, they start pulling it off. I'm like, what is all this random stuff you're carrying? It's like,
Sidebar, remember your story. Snow from Snow Offensive asked me to bring some film for a blackout training. I took an entire 2,000-foot reel.
Okay.
And I put it in my carry-on. And TSA did not like it. They could not see through it.
Oh.
It literally blacked out everything below my bag. So they made me pull it out. They swabbed it for bombs and stuff, and they re-ran my entire bag because there was no visibility. It just denial of service, everything below it. Anyway.
Oh, I can see why they'd be upset. I'd be upset.
They're like, what is this? Why do you have a reel of film in your bag? Reasons. I'm not saying B&E.
Yeah.
That's not coming out of my mouth.
Don't throw that one out there.
I like it. I like the stock.
we were heading through our headquarters, and I saw this one room, and I was like, what is that? And there's like, oh, that's our secure server room. And I giggled because I was like, that's not even close to secure at all. And the guy that was with me that was talking to had helped set up that server room. And so he's like, no, it's solid. It takes a card, it takes a fingerprint, you're never getting in there.
Dual factor.
And I'm like, okay. And he's like, $500. Are you sure? And he's like, yeah. Okay. And I take off my backpack, I reach in, I pull out a thing of film, and I just roll it out, and do the over-the-door tap, and pop it.
Yeah.
And he just looks at me like, what have I done? And he gets really quiet, and I felt bad because it was around Christmas time, and he had this look on his face like, my wife doesn't know I just did that, you know? And I was like, dude, it's okay. You don't have to give me the $500. Like, make sure your kids have Christmas, you know. But like I said, it's not secure. And after that, facilities contacted me. And they're like, "Are you that crazy guy? Yeah. Will you audit our building?" I was like, "Okay, let's do this."
So when I was doing that 16, our manager found out, and to stop us, he got a file hanging folder. It goes on the wall to put manila folders in, and he mounted it to the door above the handle. $1 at Home Depot or Office Max defeated our film technique.
I love it. That's great.
And we didn't know at first, so we're doing it, and it's just pooling up in this folder.
Yeah.
We're like, how we couldn't do it? Freak. I guess we lost our touch.
It's like whenever you go to demo something, right? You have your friends, you're like, hey, look at where. What?
I was going to ask you, how many attempts did it take when you're doing it in front of them?
Well, when I was doing it in front of them, it took 2.
Okay.
It took 2. One thing I didn't think about was the air conditioning. And so
blowing it around?
Yeah, and so I got it first, and I kept hearing this weird noise. And so by 2 attempts, I mean like it was 2 pulls. But the second time, I had to like sit there with like my ear on the door and try to listen to it, and I was like, can't get that. And then it clicked. I have a little Wi-Fi camera that's super tiny, and I just slid it underneath the door. Okay. And then I was like, as soon as it blew in, I was like, sure.
Awesome. Any questions for me?
I don't know if you want them filmed.
We can always edit it.
I don't know. Like, for me, you're still like a shady person, not in the sense of shady, like I do bad things, but more like I don't know much more about what you do. You seem to be involved in so many things, and like what are you doing now that you're loving? That's in the security realm.
I really like network traffic. I like PCAPs.
PCAPs?
Yeah.
And
I
like
love digging through PCAPs, finding weird stuff.
I think there's something in the thrill of the hunt for that.
I do enjoy that.
You
And
start
I
to
like
feel that.
it's the same thing when you're doing Los Santos. I like that teaching, that aha moment.
Mhm.
You show somebody something and they're just like, what? You can pull creds out of PCAP, like network traffic? You weren't the host, you weren't the destination, and you have access to all that? I like those moments.
Yeah.
That teaching, that learning moment, big time. It's like a reward.
Yeah, it is. Well, and then there's also that level of like teaching, but also that they've got that. They're gonna take that, and it makes things better. I agree with you.
All right. Thanks for joining me in SAINTCON Hallway. Keep rocking out Los Santos.
Yep, you're welcome.